virtue and compassion.
Okay, so this is a showcase of my Gemling build using Ice Nova. And just as a disclaimer, this isn't like a build guide or anything like that. I'm just wanted to show what I've been doing so far, as I've been experimenting with a bunch of spells using these new quality effects from the Gemling Ascendancy. So this is just a showcase of that. The build basically uses... Currently, my build basically uses Ice Nova for pretty much everything. If we see here, the new quality effect from Ice Nova is that it gives increased chance to not remove an infusion, but still count as using it. So with my setup, this one's giving me 80%, and my tree up here is giving me 20% chance. And with that, it's like guaranteed, if I have a cold infusion, I will not consume it whenever I cast Ice Nova. And I basically combined this. I also have a astral projection here, which makes it cast on my wherever I target. And if I take that off, it's gonna have even bigger area of effect, right? So my build is made around this. When it's cold infused, it does so much more damage. And also I am using the Jewel to get 3 levels of Ice Nova. And with all that, it does pretty much enough damage to do like any content in the game, even the stacked rituals with 7 bosses at the same time, or any pinnacle boss I can even kill with Ice Nova. That's also because of some other tech I'm using, and this is my favorite tech I've discovered in this build, is using this support gem, which grants me 1% damage as extra cold per 2000 life of the destroyed ice crystal. So I use Ice Nova to destroy some ice crystals to gain a bunch of damage. Now, the reason this is so good is, well, my ice wall is level 36, and this one doubles the life of the ice crystals. But in addition to that, I have the additional quality from the Gemling gives me 80% increased ice crystal life. So with all that, if we look at the ice crystals here, if you look at the tooltip, it's 140,000 damage. And when I break them, it goes up to 380,000. So that's like almost a 3 times damage increase from just this. It's about a 2.5 times damage increase, because yeah, here some of the number goes up because of this spell damage when I consume an infusion. So that's extremely good combo I found, where this one, this support gem is suddenly really broken once you have the quality from Gemling here. And also Ice Nova is a great spell for this, because it just deals AoE damage to destroy the ice crystals. Other than that, this is the Flameblast tech here is more or less for fun, or it's also pretty good against bosses, because the additional quality is that it gains magnitude of damaging ailments per stage, with maximum of 10 stages here. So 10 stages, it's 820% more magnitude of ignite. And I basically set it up to have it on my other weapon set that has level of fire skills. And I've set it up to just have maximum damage on all the support gems here. Also, I have over 50% crit chance, and then this one doubles the crit chance when the enemies are full life. So this is just to one-shot any boss to guarantee that I crit whenever I fight bosses. Also here I have Blasphemy on my second weapon set, just to reduce the resistances of the boss. So this one is only active while I use Flameblast, the Blasphemy. Then for my persistent skills, I'm using Blink for mobility. We have 2 charges of Blink here. And the additional quality effect gives it, in my case, it gives it twice as long distance for the Blink, which is super nice for mobility, right? And then mana remnants as well. This build has quite low mana, like less mana than it should have, I would say. So it relies pretty heavily on picking up mana remnants if I need to like spam Ice Nova. Then I have cast on Elemental Ailment, and this isn't like the most optimal setup or like the most efficient, I guess you would say. Because it adds Frost Bomb here, and this is just to... When you put in Frost Bomb, it does need to wait for the cooldown, so it won't spam Frost Bomb ever, but this is just to give me a few additional cold infusions, because I never consume them with Ice Nova, but they will time out as I play the map for longer. So with this one I pretty much always just pick up cold infusions from time to time, enough to always have one ready. And then I have Ice Nova here that will cast around me for extra damage, for just from killing small mobs and a bit of extra damage against anything else, really. Then with Arctic Armor, the reason I have this one is because for my defenses I'm going full armor actually. Just full armor and max life. And what Arctic Armor does is it increases your armor per stage. And this has a total of 9 stages right now, so that's around 400% increased armor just from this one persistent one. So I really wanted to try to use this as my defenses. And it's kind of difficult to stack all the stats at the same time. I will for sure upgrade my setup and like make it a bit more optimal. But in total I have almost 17,000 armor, which is like fine, but it's not really that good. And also I'm currently missing the armor applies to elemental damage. So right now my build is actually very vulnerable to elemental damage because of that. It's only 2,400 health and no real extra armor applying to elemental damage. I could also have way more armor because my gloves and body armor, well, my gloves have no armor and this is a unique, so it only has 900 armor. Those could both be a lot, could give more armor in theory, and that's why I don't really have a crazy amount, right? But other than elemental damage, or like if I just get a few armor applies to elemental, I think the build would be like decent defenses, but not really anything to brag about. I can showcase my skill tree here. So it looks very weird, obviously, because I can start at the sorcerer starting point as well as Gemling. That's because I have this split personality jewel that allows me to start from the sorcerer starting point. It's new in this 0.5 patch, but sadly it also takes like a whole jewel socket slot. But it's for sure worth it in my case because there's a lot of nodes around here I want for my build, specifically these. There's some good cold spell nodes like +1 level and ignore resistances of frozen enemies. Then other than that I'm stacking a lot of area of effect. There's some nodes here, over there, and a few here. This one is 25%, right? These are the infusion monsters I mentioned. This one is really, really good, but it's actually bugged right now. It's supposed to give you immunity to chill the ground, but apparently it doesn't work right now. And then other than that, I have a few critical hit chance nodes. And I can also quickly mention here, I have a few going straight down here as well, just because I really wanted this notable, giving life, mana, and move speed. These are all stats that like I really need. And then some extra move speed here is super good. And also really want these nodes to ignore the penalties of armor and giving me more move speed, but right. But it's like it requires so many notables to grab them. I was gonna mention I am grabbing a lot of critical hit chance, and that's because I'm using these gloves. They make critical damage bonus stuck at 250%, so I don't need to invest anything to crit damage. I can only go crit chance, and I can also utilize this support gem here, pinpoint critical. That the downside of having less critical damage bonus just is doesn't matter when you use these gloves, so it's a really broken support gem. I also have this it's kind of secret notable here, giving me quality of all skills. That's because of my amulet. Speaking of that, I can also showcase my gear. This amulet is for sure the most like valuable part of all my gear. It took like 60-70 div to make because so it's giving 4 levels to all spell skills. That's because you're able to quality up to 36%, and that will make 3 into a 4 level of all spell skills. And it also gives 55 spirit and the 5% quality of all skills. So I added this one by desecrating it, and it took like 5 attempts to desecrate it, actually. But it ended up being a really good amulet. Other than that, my staffs are pretty standard. I just kind of didn't spend too long on these. I just found some decent ones on trade for like 5 div, I think it was, or 10 div, something like that. The boots and helmet is pretty standard, like armor and max life. I can, and then I have a socket here for more area, and this socket is quite a special tech actually for Gemling, because it makes increases to life regen apply to mana regen. Now that's actually really good on Gemling, because I have this virtuous barrier, which gives me, and I'm stacking because everything costs int right now. It will give me a bunch of intelligence modes. And each one of those gives me 7% life regen and 7% mana regen. So in total that's like around 150% of each, and then all the ones for life apply to mana regen as well. So that's like 300% mana regen right there. And this quality effect here also gives me like 82% mana regen. So even when my mana is this low, I have quite a lot of mana regen actually. Now if I only have like 3000 mana instead of 4000, it would be actually a really high amount of mana per second with this setup. So that's another like type of tech in this build that I'm using. Then there's just the body armor. This is a new unique as well, this league. The main reason I was interested was because of the 5% equality, as I'm trying to stack as much quality as possible. So that's nice, but other than that, it gives a bunch of different stuff, as you can see, and the 3 bottom lines are completely random for each one. It gives 3 random effects from unique rings. So this one, I found this on a trade which just fit my build really well, because it gives onslaught here for 4 seconds on kill, and 25 spirit actually when I have 200 int, which just fit my build as well, because I'm using all the spirit I have. Yeah, other than that, the rings are very standard. This one is just really just elemental resistances and some life and mana. And this one is giving me a bit of area of effect and skill cost efficiency. So nothing really special there or really valuable. Nothing unusual there. Alright, so I'm trying to think if I forgot to mention anything. Yeah, I do have Unleash on one of my staffs, which gives... it lets Ice Nova repeat, so here it repeats 2 extra times, which is some good, some added DPS really, if I need it. Other than that, right, the quality, I can show the quality effect here actually, because usually this one costs me 100 spirit, but with the quality effect it's reduced, so it only costs 55 spirit to activate Cast on Ailment. So that's another like cool thing to utilize. Right, so I can showcase some parts of the build here with a map. This one will have Delirium and a powerful map boss. So usually I just get 1 cold infusion from when I start the map. See here, because of all the area of effect stacking, it's quite a large area. Yeah, this one has proximal flexibility, so but you can see the mobility is great with the blink here. I can just go, like I teleport out of my screen because it's such a long distance. Oh, boss here is already. Then we just stack Ember Fusillade, and we did 0 damage. I don't know why. Wait, what? I think I just hit the boss before it was able to take damage right there. There it hit him, and then it just kills him instantly. I'm not sure why I didn't hit actually. I don't think that's happened before. Sometimes it does hit the boss, but it doesn't actually ignite because it just doesn't do enough damage. But yeah, That's a good. You can see the damage at least. So here we lost our cold infusion, so we need to get a new one. That happens sometimes as well. But yeah. Whoa. But as you can see, the single target damage is sometimes not as good. Oh. So it requires a few hits, and that's usually when I want to use Frost Wall for that added damage. I just Frost Wall from time to time, the damage will be extremely high.
You know what I say about found money?
Yeah, we can look at the breach as well, just for fun. So this is for sure, it's probably not the most optimal way, right? But it's for sure a very fun variation, or a fun build that I found. It obviously works really well. I just need to upgrade my defenses. That's the most important part, at least. And here it's, yeah, I go from time to time as well, as you can see. Just need to pick up these remnants, and then it's fine.
The abyss knocks once.